if you give somebody that is stunted or somebody that is of small size, give him any food till tomorrow, it cannot go beyond that size. But if you have somebody of good genetics, a giant type and co, the food will only help him to achieve that big size. So that's what we are trying to do. Produce animal with superior genetics. Agriculture on its own is a scientific subject. But a lot of farmers in Nigeria, both crop farmer and people that are into animal husbandry, don't pay attention to the genetics aspect of the farming. In agrogenetics, we are trying to concentrate on the genetics or the genetic aspects of farming to enhance production, improve quality of our products. I'm not talking of GMO. I'm talking of a natural crop and animal production. Taking advantage of knowledge of genetics to bring out the best. To be specific, now the post project we are starting with, which we call AgroGenetics piggery, is mainly based on try to take advantage of our experience in genetics, in the biology of the pigs itself, to bring out certain desired traits that are needed. Now, what do we mean when we talk about genetics? Like we know a goat will not born a sheep, neither will a sheep born a dog. But within every species, we'll have what we call the desired trait. And those desired traits, that means what we like about, let's be specific about pig now. When you see your pig, we have different breed of pigs. But within the breed, there are certain traits that are desired. Like if you look at your duroc, you want your duroc to be massive, you want the musculature to be well developed. Duroc are mainly known for their, muscle, their bit size, and their food conversion efficiency, and their growth rate. That's why they are one of the major soil that has been combined with weather land race, large whites, to produce fast growing growers with good conversion rates, and they reach maximum size within a short time. So now, looking at the duroc, for example, as a breed, all these traits we love, the size of the muzzle, the low fat accumulation at the back and all that, all these are traits that we see that we like. But all these traits are being responsible for by what we call the gene. There are certain genes in the system of this pig that make probably the size of the muzzle, the shape of the muzzle to be more expressed in this pig than in the other one. There are traits that control the size of the bone, the size of the leg, because a pig without a strong skeletal structure cannot carry big weight. We have K leg or some funny. So all these desired traits in our pigs, even the size of the hair, the position of the hair, the shortness of the nostril, and all that, all these traits are being controlled by gene that is responsible for them. So when we are talking of bringing genetics into the breeding, that means we are trying to look at some of these specimens that contain the desired trait and look at, okay, probably one pig doesn't have everything 100%. How do we get, let's say, muscle size from this and combine it with the frame from this, or combine it with the big bone density from the other one? Now, when we are talking of, let's say, muscle size, for example, you look at the bodybuilders. We have some, they are still bodybuilder, but they are miniature. Then we have some that are massive, like Ronnie Coleman. So when you are looking at your pig, you know exactly what you want out of the pigs. And when you see this pig that contain a little bit of what you want, and this one that excel in those other three, You bring them together to produce offsprings that will be more complete with a better performance in terms of those traits. That's what we mean by genetics. How do you combine genetics? One, you must be able to identify the trait you want. You must have understanding of how genetics works. That's why most of the time you need to look like your father or your mother or any of your ancestors. So this is what we look at. And in agrogenetics, our breeding concept is based on three, if I should put it, three broad categories. One, we intend to breed pure line, exceptionally good pure line of the basic grades, which for commercial pork production, which include Duroc, Hampshire. Mostly they use them as the shire, that's to cross the other one. Then we have the landrace and we have the large white. Landrace and large white are known for their length, their frame, and they are very fertile. Their production rate is very high. They could burn anything between 12 and 20. While when you look at the Hampshire and you look at the Duroc, they have extra muscle. They are the bodybuilder. Like Duroc to me is the bodybuilder of the pig world. They come with extra muscles. They are robust. All parts of their body is meant for muscles. And their food compassion rate is very high. That means with little food, we get maximum growth. They could grow between 700 and 900 grams per day. And another thing that's very specific about Duroc meat is one of the most delicious of all the breeds. The marble of the fat within the meat is just like is rated as being one of the highest quality pork you can take anywhere. When you talk of like your landrace are well known for less fat muscles. If you want lean meat and all that, you give it to the landrace. If you want large white have good meat production, but with a little bit of fat. So among all the breeds, some other thing can influence the ratio of fat, meat to fat ratio. And that's mostly based on the nutrition, the kind of feed you use to finish your growers or your finisher before you slaughter them. If you give them excessive calories, definitely they will accumulate more fat than what the breed naturally supposed to be. But on a general note, Duroc are known for the best quality pork. Their fat accumulation at the back is minimal, or on the average, it's not much. You don't accumulate excessive fat. While your landrace could be, they give you one of the best lean meat. And your large white, good quality meat, but if you don't finish very well, they will have certain level of fat.